Hi, this is Paul again. I'm just going to jump right into it today. This topic is going to be on love God and love people. I've been talking for the last couple videos now or so about mental health awareness, addiction. I've got over 2 years of sobriety. That all is very important to me, and is going to continue to be a through line of this podcast of mine. What I've come to realize, though, recently is that God is very important to me these days. I never in a million years would have believed that I would be the guy who actually believes in God. 32 years of my life until I turned 32. I didn't believe. I didn't believe at all. My family, we went to church for 12 years. To me, it was my folks raising us as a way to raise us as good people, and then give us the choice ourselves. It turned out that they didn't believe for years before any of us were born. And for me, I don't care what my family believes or what anybody else believes. It's up to anybody else to believe what they want to believe. I am here to talk about what I believe. 4.5 months ago, almost 5 months ago, I went back to church. I found a local church here where I live that actually comes with a really good message of hey, you can belong before you believe. They don't force feed religion down people's throat. It's not really about religion at this church that I go to, called the Orchard here in Carbondale, Colorado, where I live. They talk about the main thing being the main thing, that being Jesus, that being God. And for me, why I bring up love God and love people is because it's just such a better way to live. I don't really, even with almost 5 months of being back with religion, it's still spirituality to me. It's believing in Jesus, it's believing in God, but it's about believing in just being a good person, and how do I love God and love people at the same time. I remember I was talking to our pastor. It was Easter a few months ago, and I was talking about love God and love people, and he mentioned it himself. It's a lot easier said than done. And to hear that out of the mouth of the pastor at the church that I go to was really refreshing, really nice to just know that these people, we talk about vulnerability. He just talked about it yesterday at the service about allowing ourselves to be just more vulnerable, open people, and that's why I bought back in. And I don't know, it's just been such an interesting phenomenon for me these last few months to believe in God for real. And I talk about sobriety, and I've got over 2 years, and that's been so amazing. But once I started going back to church, I could have never imagined that would be the ultimate game changer for me at this point in my life. And it's been, again, just refreshing. And I don't tell anybody how to believe. I'm not going to tell anybody how to believe. That's not who I am. I feel like I can preach without being preachy. I do talk these days like the scripture quoting guy, whatever. A lot of how I'm a writer. I'm not sure if I've actually mentioned that or not. I feel like I have. And the reality for me is, even with the way that I'm writing these days and the way that I'm talking, it's all coming down to a place of just, yeah, it is a lot of scripture. There's a lot of talking like some Bible guy. And that's funny for me. I have to laugh. I have to find humor in it all. I don't know why, but it's just who I am. But I see it even in my life. And it doesn't matter who. I'm not going to say who. But there have been people that I'm close to who have thrown it back in my face about me being the God-loving guy. I told the person that I'm close to that I'm back with church and that it's just a new chapter in my life, and they said it's not a good chapter and there's been other things, and that's the only example that I'm going to use. I'm not going to out anybody. That's not what this channel is going to be about. Again, it's love God and love people. Again, it is a lot easier said than done, especially when I'm getting it thrown back in my face. The reality, though, is Jesus talked about it. We will be persecuted for believing in Him, for believing that He is the truth, the way, and the light. And I do believe that these days. It is surprising for me. But it was also something that came out of the sermon yesterday as well. I don't need to always be looking to attain that much more knowledge, that much more information. I just need to go off of what I know at this time and expand on that. And that doesn't mean that I'm not obviously going to be looking to gain more information, more knowledge. But it means that I can just continue to talk about what I know. And what I know these days is mental health, addiction, and God. And so that's really going to be the through line of this podcast, of how can I put a good awareness out there for any one of those three topics. And how do I continue just to be a better brother, son, friend, member of my community, church, and it can keep going on and on. How do I be a better member of all of these different groups of my life? And for me, that is what is important. I don't care, again, what other people think or want to say to me about believing this life, being in line with this life. It is something for me that is just, I don't need to fight other people. I don't need to come with hate. I don't need to come with, oh well, screw you or whatever. I don't need to do that. That's not worth it, in my opinion. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to stand up for my beliefs. Doesn't mean that I'm going to just kowtow and just lay down and not fight. But I'm going to do it in a respectful, loving way. That how do I continue to be of loving God and loving people? And I don't know, it's just something that I really felt strongly to talk about today, and it'll probably keep coming up in future videos. And yeah, that's all I got for today. Thanks.